How's everybody doing? Hope all is well with everybody. Um on this episode 26 of Black People This Is Why, a masterclass on how to conduct yourself when having any type of run-in with law enforcement. We're gonna do something a little different. We're not only gonna break a body cam video down in real time, we're going to be assisted by the beautiful lady on the screen, Miss Carmen JC, which I'll be talking about later on in my live stream. But you guys, this is one of your first videos listening to me. I do live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, and I do these body cam breakdowns on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And again, if this is your first time hearing me, I usually do these body cam breakdowns just with my commentary and the body cam situation. But this time I watched Carmen's video and I wanted to react to it also. Why? Because I was going to speak on this case anyway. This is a case, I think the lady's name is Tanisha Thompson or something like that. And she just had a outrage, a outburst over a simple speeding ticket that led to excessive force. And as I always tell you guys, in some cases, excessive force is legal, such as the severity of the crime, the immediacy of the threat, actively resisting arrest, which is what she's about to do, or attempting to evade arrest by flight. Now, I tell you guys all the time, and this is why I named this series Black People, This Is Why. You know, black people still seem not to get it in 2026. It's almost like it's like a washing machine cycle, and you got it on repeat. And there's nobody learning. Buck on the police, get beat up or killed, protest. Buck on the police, get beat up or killed, protest. Buck on the police, get beat up or killed, protest. And if the person, and in some situations, people end up getting large payouts. And I mean, I'm trying to see, when are black people going to say this is enough? Because I'm going to tell you now, your leaders, your black leaders, your black pastors, not all but most, your black Democratic members, people like Benjamin Crump who represent y'all, the quote unquote civil rights attorney, they not going to tell y'all. They not going to tell y'all, look, comply with the officer. Do whatever he says, especially now, since every officer, it used to be just the supervisor, but now every officer must have a body cam. These body cams cannot be doctored. They are took off a charging port when the officer comes into work immediately, and when he leaves to go on his daily shift, he has to have this on him. And when he clocks off and get ready to go home, he takes it off, puts it on a charging port. The charging port sucks all the information out. It goes to a database. Can't be docked. It goes to a national database and saved just in case it's needed for a civil case or a criminal case or for whatever. But it's no such thing now as your word, the cop's word. It's none of that. It's going to be the body cam's word. And we all know that body cams don't lie. What you see is what's, some they say don't believe what you see. Yes, believe what you see when you see these body cams. These police have been over scrutinized over the years. And guess what? They move, and some of them, they may get frustrated here and there because, again, like I always tell you guys, these people are human beings. For some reason, people think that cops are any different than whatever job you work. I don't know if you work at a Fortune 500 company. I don't know if you flip hamburgers at McDonald's. But whatever job that you do, you don't want anybody coming in with a camera telling you how to do your job, telling you, having an attitude, just being overly aggressive for no reason because of what they heard or because of what they base their opinion of you off of a 30-minute YouTube or 30-minute TikTok or 30-minute social media post of a person get excessive force used on them, but you don't know that excessive force is legal in certain situations, and you didn't see the whole situation. And I made this series because I want black people to see it. I'm teaching y'all of using real life body cam situation, what not to do, what to do, what these person did right, what these person did wrong. And also why sometimes when you're pulled over by a white police officer, things go left before they go right, because they don't know if you a civilized person like me or Miss Carmen JC, or if you Tyrone, Pookie, or the woman that's on the screen. They don't know. They just see you as a black person, or they see you, they don't know. And these people understand that black people kill each other at an alarming rate. Y'all rap and brag about it, because I know y'all like to talk about, well, white people kill each other too. Well, guess what? White people don't make music rapping and bragging about it. Right? So they know you people are very dangerous. They know you people everywhere y'all go. For the most part, y'all are causing chaos, fight, and this is a part of y'all makeup. Especially with police officers, y'all told and trained to hate police. So they know when they have any interaction with y'all, it's nothing about racism. It's their being safe. So sometimes they may come off as aggressive. Not all the time, but for the time that they do, black people, this is why. So we're going to get into today's video. And like I said, I'm doing something that I've never did before. I don't know if I'm going to do it in the future. But I think that Miss Carmen JC had a lot of interesting things to say. So I said I'll use her video and I'll react to the video with her. We'll watch together and we'll break it down and see what this woman did right, what this woman did wrong. So without further ado, let's get into it.
The Hearst Police Department said they received a formal complaint. It goes on to say, in part, a thorough investigation was conducted. The claims submitted were determined to be unfounded.
It was a man who was killed by Dallas police earlier this week outside of Children's Medical Center. Sources say the man, who was fatally shot by SWAT, actually ran a business placing law enforcement officers in off-duty jobs, and apparently he was also part of the security detail for Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Our JD Miles.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I am Carmen JC, and we're back with another great video. So, guys, I have a question today, and my question for today is, why can't black people comply with the police? I want to know. And
okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there. She gonna say what she gonna say, which is 1,000% correct. But I'm gonna add this in too. Again, if you're raised in the black community, if you're raised around black people, police are demonized. But it's so funny to me. This was the funny thing to me. They'll demonize police all day on social media. They'll see as for mention, they'll see one 30-second clip of a 30-minute situation that they have no context to, and they'll post it on their social media talking about this why we hate them, or they killing us, or I'm in fear of my son. When your son have a way more chance of being murdered by somebody who looked like him, another black boy, than the police by far, but you're not worried about that. But anyway, why black people can't comply? That's a great question. They can't comply because they're taught to not to comply. They're told by their leaders, they're told by everybody that they are the victim. And so when they have these and again, something that she's going to say, and something that I've always spoke about for years, is that most black people don't come up in homes where there's an authoritative figure. And it's getting worse and worse by the day. Because even now, you have 2-parent households in the black community, and the father is a beta male. He was raised by his mom. Because we in that generation now, where people in my generation, like I'm 38, so people in my generation, they have kids. They have kids that's in their teens. They have grown children, and they're beta because that's right around the time where it was really, it started, of course, in the 60s. The 70s, it started getting kind of bad, but in the 80s, that's when it was ringing the alarm of the single parent, the single woman household in the black community. So if you're an 80s baby, you really probably 9 times out of 10, or I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, but I'll say 7 times out of 10, you grew up without your father. So what happens to you is you became a simp. You became a beta male. What is a simp? A simp is not a man who spends money on women. Somebody who spends money on women is either one or two things. It's a man who's taking care of his lady, or it's a man who paying for a service, aka a trick. A simp is a woman trapped in a man's body because he was raised by his mother, his grandmother, and nothing but women with no man around. All of that feminine spirit juice, all of that feminine spirit was projected on him. So he acts like the only thing about him is he has a penis and he's heterosexual in some cases, because some cases they're gay. And if they're heterosexual, they're over sexualized because the spirit in them, the reason why they're so over sexualized is because the spirit in them feels its best at when it's around another woman, right? And because he heterosexual, automatically he gonna want to have sex with her, but he always want to be around other women because inside of him, that's what the spirit of the woman that was put inside of him by him not having a father, that spirit was poured into him, and he's a woman, right? This is why he acts like a woman. This is why most of these black women today, they can't keep a man. That's for several reasons, but one of the reasons is they're dating a woman. And we all know that lesbian couples are the worst. They lead the nation in divorce and domestic violence. They are complete tire fires because two women can never get along. And of course, gay men couples are horrible too, but they not nowhere near the chaos that you get in the lesbian community. And so these women don't know it because they're dating a male body, but it's a woman that they're dating. And that's why he's always want to fight. He always want to argue. And also, he can be very dangerous because, as we know, the woman is overly emotional, impulsive, and those two things in a male body can be very dangerous. This is why you have a lot of domestic violence, a lot of them killing black women. Black women being killed by black men, I think, is at its all-time high. But I digress. What I'm saying is this. When you dealing with a young man who is raised by his mother, he becomes a beta. And again, most of our men around my age, they were raised by their mom, so they're betas. Again, like I say, what a beta in a simp is a woman trapped in a man's body. And so, even though some of these children today are being raised in two-parent households, the dad is a simp. So it's almost like it's a single-parent household with just a man there. And most of these men are very weak. They have no wisdom. They have nothing to teach the children. So they feel like it's normal for women to lord over them and their children because that's all they know is mama. So when they get in a relationship with a woman, she leads. So there's no authority in the home. But I just wanted to say that. So let's let Ms. Coleman talk.
I suspect it has something to do with, one, single mothers, and two, it has something to do with there not being fathers in the home, okay? Not having an authority figure in your home to, lay down the law so you don't have to respect anyone in your home. If you know anything about black boys, when they turn about 15, 16 with single mothers, they start telling their mother what they're going to do.
Well, I'm going to say this here. First of all, she's wrong about that. It's way before that, Miss Coleman, JC. Way before that, right? Once a young man first of all, once the child, especially the male child, reaches the age of 9 or 10, there's nothing else the mother can teach him at all. And if he don't have a father around him, 9 times out of 10, well, I'm not even going to say that because I don't want to say that. But majority of the time, he's going to go seek that energy wherever and if he's in the hood, if he's in the hood, he's going to seek that male energy out with other degenerate young men who are degenerate by default. It's not even their fault. They didn't get a fair shake in life. They didn't have a father come in. It's not their fault. So I want to be clear. I'm not talking about them. It's just how things work out. Now, if it's a good mother or a mother who financially stable, she'll get her son into a nicer neighborhood. So at least the energy that he might seek out might be, these other cultures in most cases, or if not, black cultures who got their stuff together, right? Two-parent productive households, the nuclear family. But that's and we see
they're like independent at that.
Okay, yeah. So and again, the woman is nothing the woman can do with the son once he that age. So she say 14 or 15. She don't have children. She 35. She don't have children. So I think maybe she just threw that number out there, and I'm not going at her for it because maybe that's some situation that she's seen. But I know from experience because when I came up, my daddy he was on the road either working or dealing with something with business, and I want to say around. I'm gonna say before that, 12 or 13. Listen, man, it wasn't no more telling me come in the house at a certain time because I knew my daddy wasn't home and I was going to do what I wanted to do. But what I will say is this too, just piggybacking on how she say and how me and her both agree on the authoritative situation that's lacking in the black communities. When I was coming up, certain things in my household was zero tolerance. Number one, disrespecting authority, and number one, disrespecting authority. I'm gonna just stay there. That was what you don't do. You know, people, my people are just like all parents. They understand that children may be mischievous sometimes. Children may get caught up in the peer pressure and all of those things you have to understand as a parent. But what my parents did not tolerate is disrespect to authority, whether that be a teacher or police or anybody in authoritative position. So when I was coming up, I came up in the hood. Most of all of my homeboys would come from single parent households. And I remember, dog, like when we have situations where we have run in with the police, my homeboy would either run, be very disrespectful. I wouldn't do that because, see, I already knew I'm in trouble for getting in a situation with law enforcement in the first place. If it come down to the fact that if it come out that I disrespected them too, I'm dead meat. But they didn't have that at the house. They had a single mother, who probably was gonna tell them it wasn't their fault, it's the police fault because they young black boys. I wasn't gonna get that in my household. I was gonna get, listen, what were you doing wrong? And I still made bad decisions, but again, I had good leadership at home, and I knew better. So that's one thing I never did. To this day, I've never disrespected a law enforcement, and just so happened, luckily, thank God, it always turned out for me. I wonder why. But let's continue.
Age, and you can say I'm wrong, but I've seen it all too many times, and you can just look at the statistics when it comes to single black mothers. And yeah, I think this plays a role, and specifically this woman who I think her name is Tanisha Thompson. We're going to call her TT. So TT, essentially, she is in the car with her 15-year-old son, and it seems like he has more sense than she does, and she gets pulled over for a speeding ticket for speeding in a school zone, and for some reason she cannot seem to comply. So I want to go ahead and show you guys this first video of TT, and let's go ahead and see what TT has going on. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
This incident happened at Hearst, Texas.
Citation as far as the bus. You don't want to take it now? Well, it's going to take it because it's your citation.
I don't want it.
That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
No, just don't do that. Step off my car.
Now again, let's go back real quick.
Go ahead and show you guys this first video of TT, and let's go ahead and see what TT has going on. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
This incident happened at Hearst, Texas.
Now, this officer is coming back. As a matter of fact, if you go look at my episode 25, I had a similar situation like this. Where a black woman got a citation and was asked, was told you're free to go. She did the exact same thing. She got out of the car, she different. She only thing different with this woman. And the last in episode 22, she gets out of the car and goes bucking on the police because he took her. She had a template on her vehicle that was outdated and fake, and he took it. Told her she can go on by the way, just go take care of it. She made a big deal out of it. She wanted her plate back. Got out of the car again in front of two small children. This was two small children that she did that in front of. And again, it just makes the police look bad, right, on the children's behalf. And it's not the police fault, it's these irresponsible nutcase mothers' fault. Because again, if you're going to act a certain way with the police, you feel a certain way by police, at the very least, when you're in front of your children, you act different because you're supposed to be setting an example. But like I tell y'all all the time, a lot of these black women, they made bad decisions with their vaginas. They mismanaged their vaginas, gave it to the wrong men, and had babies with these men. Now they're raising these children on their own. They're having to work all these hours just to stay afloat, and they're angry and they're frustrated behind that. And a woman was not put here to live like that. She is out of her biblical order. She was not put here to run no household, be no boss queen. That's not what she was put on this earth to be. And when she take on these roles, she take on all of this unnecessary pressure that she was not created to handle alone. Right? And most of these women, they don't have no man at home, so they go home. Women need men. Let's get this understood. This whole thing about women don't need men, and they don't need men to provide anymore because they doing well for themselves financially. But a woman gonna always need a man just to, because a man is the battery. Well, no, I'm sorry. The man is the charger. The woman is the battery in some situations. But I'm speaking from a spiritual aspect. So I want to be clear. The woman is supposed to be able to go home after a long day if she have to work. Go home after a long day and plug into her man and recharge. These women today are not able to do that. This is why most of them are going to therapy. If they're not going to therapy 2 or 3 times a week, they're on some type of chemical dependency, whether it's marijuana, whether it's liquor. They're on something to cope because they have took on more than they have bit off more than they can chew. And they living out of order, out of the godly order. Right. And so a lot of them also have unhealed childhood trauma from things that they went through. And you see them, man, they walk around with a boot in their mouth, and it just seems like all it takes is one situation like this for them to crack. Now, this woman was given a ticket. Okay, listen, like I tell black people all the time in these videos, never, ever, ever, ever call yourself holding court on the streets, because it's not going to turn out right for you, my man or my woman. Because guess what? These officers is not going to say, you know what? You got an attitude, so maybe today was a bad day, so I'm going to abort mission. That's not going to happen. Either the officer is going to be de-escalative, or he's going to meet you in your nonsense. And if he match your energy, it's not going to turn out right for you. Because there's more of him than you. And 9 times out of 10, you going to lose. And if you win, you still going to lose. Right? And so, this woman, I don't know her situation, but again, she's doing this in front of her 15-year-old son. The other woman who I did in episode 25, she did it in front of her children. I want to say they probably was around 7 or 8. And this projects on a young black boy and a young black girl. Like, I remember what they did to mama. And of course, as a child, they have no context, they have no wisdom, they have no depth to understand why things happen. So of course, they see mommy getting tackled or whatever, they take the mama side, and they end up growing up hating police. So this all goes into the hate for police from black Americans and why it's constantly turning out bad for them. And that's why I made this series, which I say is going to last into perpetuity. Because I want black people, as many as I can get, to see my videos and understand how to conduct themselves when they have an interaction or run-in with the police. Both of the police want to go home to his family, and you want to make it out. In worst case scenario, you go to jail. But getting beat up or killed or embarrassed, it's 2026. Why are we still playing this silly game? Well, let's continue.
Citation is $400. You don't want to take it?
No.
Well, it's going to take it because it's your citation.
I don't want it.
That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
No, don't do
Now,
that.
again, he didn't have to do what he about to do. He didn't have to go that far with this. But what happened is listen, this police officer minding his business. And I would go to bat to say I could be wrong about this. Because guess what? In every field in life, it's bad and it's good. But in police, law enforcement, I will go out on the limb and say that it's way more good police than it is bad. So could this police officer just been having a bad day and say, I'm going to take it out on a black woman? Absolutely. But do I think that's what happened? Absolutely not. I think she was speed. For whatever reason, maybe she had to get somewhere. I don't know. A lot of these black women are impatient. They are they overwhelmed. They frustrated. So it makes them do things off impulse that makes no sense. So she's speeding for whatever reason. He stopped her. She's upset about that, especially if she was speeding for a reason, like meaning she was trying to get somewhere, because they always late. They always late, right? And he stopped her. He stopped her playing, and he pissed her off, and she couldn't hide it. One thing about it, women, period, but especially the black woman, when she's up, black people. Let me just say that. And most of them are raised by women. That's why they can't. They don't know how to hide when they frustrated. They just can't do it to save their life, right? So she gets overly disrespectful with this officer. He gives her a citation. She throws it out, which is littering. But littering didn't cause him to have to do it. He could have just wrote her another one, right? But again, he's triggered now, right? And his trigger caused this to happen. But again, it's all her fault. It's 1,000% her fault. She should have got the ticket. First of all, when the officer pulled her over, what happened, officer? You were speeding. I'm sorry about that, officer. I'm trying to get somewhere. I got my son. I'm trying to take him to practice. Say whatever you got to say. Be respectful. I guarantee you that man would have looked at her, seen her son, and said, you know what, well, ma'am, slow down, and gave her a warning. But because of her attitude, again, your attitude, black man, black woman, is going to turn things worse. It's not going to make him abort missing. You're only going to make things worse. So because of her attitude, he gave her a ticket. She don't want the ticket. So now she threw the ticket out and about to get another ticket for littering. But he said, you know what? I'm not going to write her another ticket. I'm going to place her under arrest. So let's continue to see what happened. Man, I love Carmen JC. I love when she make her mouth like that. But hold on, let me snap out of it. Let's get back to the video.
Off my car. I'm not stepping out of you.
Mom, chill out.
I'm not just calling. Yes, I'm not typing.
Okay, so I want to point out that this lady starts recording because the officer, I believe he came back and forth to the car a couple times as he was dealing with her, and then eventually he decided to write her a ticket. But I want to point out that she started to record, and I don't see the need to record if you're just getting a ticket. This is the problem when it comes to black people when they get pulled over. They don't know how to simply comply. They don't know how to go through the proper channels if they don't agree with something to basically say, hey, I didn't do this. You know, you can contest these tickets, and this is where it gets to become bigger than what it has to be because you're not compliant. She threw the ticket out the window. Obviously, her lawyer eventually is going to bring up discretion, and we'll talk about that. But like, yeah, the police officers have discretion, and when you act like an asshole, yeah, I wouldn't give you any discretion either. Let's go ahead and continue to watch the rest of this video. Alright guys, I am jumping in here just to let you guys know that I am completely independent, and if you want to support the channel, you can hit the super thanks or the buy me a coffee link below. Also, you can just hype the video, you can drop a comment, you can share. It all really does help. Let's get back into the show.
Is your keyboard tiny, making it hard to type? Download Big Keyboard Easy Home Screen. You can change
Also, you can just hype the video, you can drop a comment, you can share. It all really does help. Let's get back into the show.
Don't touch me. I'm not stepping out of shit. Call your supervisor. You're not the supervisor. Call your supervisor. A supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. I will step out on the supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. You littered. You dropped the ticket, not me. No, you dropped the ticket, not me. You dropped the ticket, not me. Get your hand.
She lying and saying, and it's crazy because this how tormented it is. Now she's telling us, well, we watching her. She's telling the officer, that he dropped the ticket when we all watched him put the ticket in her car. She took it out deliberately, took her license, took the ticket and threw it out. But again, it's the cop's fault. But let's continue.
Off me. You're touching me. Give me the ticket. You're touching me forcibly. You're holding me too tight, and you're being out of line. Y'all see this, right?
Sir, I'm sorry. Can she just get the ticket?
No, you stop. Why are you holding my arm like this?
Because I gave you the ticket.
Why? No, you did not. You dropped the ticket, not me. I told you I did not want it. You dropped it. You dropped it. You're doing too much. I'm not afraid of you. Get your hand off.
It's fair to say that this lady is being rude this whole time. Like this whole time, the officer is just trying to write her a ticket. He's just trying to do his job. And she is just not compliant. She's actually being erratic, and she is just like making it like this officer is like targeting her, racially profiling her, but she in fact was speeding. So I just want to point that out there, and we're going to continue to listen to this mess.
You're holding me forcibly for no reason.
Because you need to step out.
hands off me.
Out of the car.
They love to argue too. They love to argue, but too bad, Tanisha. This is not your baby daddy. This is the law enforcement. Let's continue.
Hard.
No, what was the
Mom, is there anything I can do to get you to comply?
Look, Mom, he just said take the ticket.
You said take the ticket.
No, I did not. You did that.
He said
You
take.
The fact that the son seems to have the most amount of common sense of like, Mom, chill, this is not that big of a deal. And this is what I say about black women. These are the examples that black women set for their children.
Absolutely.
And this is why their children become criminals. I'm sorry.
But I'm not going to put that all on the black women. She get some of us. She get a small piece of the pie. And the reason why she get a small piece of the pie, because as I tell you guys all the time on this channel, the woman is a child. The woman is a grown child. She's a child with titties. Until she's about 60, then she kind of starts leaning in toward her wisdom and her logic. But before that, she's a grown child. She has the accountability of a child. She wants the perks of a man. She has she's not, listen, she's a child. And I can go on and on and on. I'm gonna make a video on one of my live streams. I'm gonna really go in depth to that. But the woman is a child. If you're a man who have dealt with enough women, you know what I mean when I say that. You have to talk to her a certain way. You have to simple things. But like I said, I'm not gonna really go up into that. But the woman is a child, so you got to understand that at all time when dealing with her.
Say this,
I gave it to you.
Mom, chill, this is not that big of a deal. And this is what I say about black women. These are the examples that black women set for.
Okay, that's the point I was making. I was trying to see. And so that's why I say I don't put a lot of onus on them, but so they do have to take a small piece of the pie, for choosing to be impregnated by certain men. Now I do understand babies change certain men. I do understand it, especially if they're a first time father. Having a child is a lot. And I'm telling you this, and I've never experienced it. I've had stepchildren, young as 2 years old, and I just know how much of a, how they say, I'm going to put it in my word, it's just cramp your style, bro. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying in a bad way, children are a blessing, children are a beautiful thing. And the day that God bless me with children, if he decide to, I'm going to treat them as such, which is their blessing. But I'm just saying, like, they can be a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so the woman, I give her a piece of the pie for that. But for the most part, it goes to these men. Because these men are impregnating these women, leaving these women with these children. And they're having to deal with all of this pressure. And it's turning them like this. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put it all on the black woman. She got to take a piece of the pie. But the majority of what's going on as a whole in the black community is because the black man has left his family. Let's continue.
Their children. And this is why their children become criminals. I'm sorry to have to say this.
I gave it to you, so you
threw the ticket at me.
And then you grabbed it and threw it out.
Give me the
it's
ticket.
On your phone video.
Give me the ticket.
No,
give me the ticket.
We're past that.
Okay.
You're under arrest. Step out of the car, literally.
Okay.
Step out of the car.
No, I'm not.
You're under arrest.
No, when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I'm not getting out of the car. I'm with my child, and I'm not doing that. Call your father right now.
Step out of the car.
I'm not. I'll step out when another officer.
I'm actually pretty surprised she said call your father right now. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll let her continue.
To get here. I'm not stepping out. I don't trust you. You're holding me too strong, and I don't trust you. You don't have to hold me like I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going to go? I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not stepping out of the car. Call your colonel and I will get out of the car. You're holding me. I'm not resisting arrest. What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for? I didn't litter. You did that. No, I did not. You did that. You did that. It's all on camera. So when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I have my child with me. I'm not getting out of the... You have a supervisor, okay?
And it's funny how, and this is one of the things I dislike about a lot of black women. They always use the child as a get out of jail free card, or they use it for something that they don't need to be. Don't try to play this game of I have my child with me, so that's why I'm not complying and getting out of the car. Because if you had that mindset of your child, you would have never acted this way in front of him. Even if you felt in your heart of heart that you were being wrong, which we all see that you're not. But even if you did, the decency of having your child in the car, if you really cared about that, you wouldn't have acted this way in front of him. Now, if he act that way in the future and get killed by police, it's going to be all your fault. And it's father for leaving him in your control, but it's going to be all your fault. But let's continue.
When your supervisor gets here, then I will step out of the car. Call someone else to come here. There someone else.
Not right now.
Yeah, there is someone else. Let me call 911.
Stop.
Get your phone.
Okay, please, sir, stop.
Call 911. Who you think you talking to? You talking to a clock? What are you doing? Are you serious? Man.
We just have some huge improvements this year that's on your phone. So check it out. We'll dive in here.
Someone else.
Not right now.
Yeah, there is someone else. Let me call 911.
Stop.
Get your phone.
Okay, please, sir, stop.
Okay, so I didn't show the full video because I didn't want to upset YouTube, but he yanks her out the car and he gets her to the ground, and it just goes to show, like, she literally.
I'm gonna play it for y'all after this, but let's continue.
All of this could have been prevented, okay? You get pulled over by the cops, you give them your license, and you pray that they don't write you a ticket. That's typically how it goes, especially if you know you are in the wrong. And like the fact that her son is the person in this situation that is the least calm. He's a 15-year-old kid, and he seems like he has the most sense in this situation. It's completely pathetic. And this is like how a lot of these black women behave. I'm not saying that this is all black women.
And this is very dangerous in front of your son, because I had a video I made, of course, in this series, Black People. This is why I don't remember if it was episode 21 or 22, but it was a situation similar to this, where a woman's son a woman was bucking on the police. She ended up having to get took down, and her son actually rushed the police, and he got arrested, which was a safe thing because he could have been killed. He was a younger black guy. I think he was 17. And he was crying, and his grandma was crying, and everybody was messed up and hurt because of her accident. I mean, he was wrong for what he did by running on the police to try to, save his mama. But who ain't gonna try to save their mama? Had your mama not been acting that way in the first place, it would have never got you in that situation. So it's the mom's fault. And this could have very happened the same way. You see what I'm saying? Because this a dude mama. You supposed to get ready to lose your life for your mama. You know what I'm saying? Right or wrong. I mean, it is what it is. Now, what if he would have got out of the car and tried to stop the officer or anything and would have got killed? It would have been all her fault.
A lot of black women take their tickets and go. They probably try to, seduce the officer or whatever. Not like seduce, but like, do what girls do. Yeah, this lady decided that she wanted to be an asshole, so she got treated like an asshole. Then the problem is like you say, like, we don't have to escalate these situations, but the officer is not the person that escalated this situation. The lady did. It was so, like, what bothers me the most is these people, they put their cameras up there, they prop their cameras up because they want police officers to do exactly this. This is why they're not compliant, and I'm starting to believe that this is like some big scam to get a paycheck. That's what I'm believing, that they want to sue the city, and they think like, okay, well, if I don't comply, these police officers are going to react in a certain way, and that way, therefore, I can sue the city. This is probably what's
absolutely
happening here, and it's disgusting. Okay, it is disgusting. She has her son in the car. She is not.
And it also hurts other black people that look like her, like this beautiful woman on the screen, or myself, who are two black people who are civilized, right, and won't act that way with police. But we might get a silver apple. We might get a sour apple. A cop who's tired of dealing with people like us, who look like us, and we run into him, and he goes straight to the bull stuff with us. Don't give us no breaks or nothing. All because of people like her. That's another reason why I start making these videos. Another reason why these individuals piss me off, because it can affect me or one of the women in my family or one of the women like this beautiful woman on screen who are civilized. But let's continue.
And a good example, and his son seems like he knows more about how to interact with the police than his mom does. And if you watch the video all the way out, the police eventually tells the son to get out the car, and guess what he does? He complies. He get out the car right away. Apparently, he learned this from his father, not his mother. And yeah, you can tell. Okay, this makes sense. I want you guys to go ahead and take a listen to the news coverage on this, because obviously TT is going to respond to this. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
It's traumatizing. I was very scared.
Thompson said she'd taken her son for a haircut that day. While
pretty attractive woman too. She don't have no makeup on or nothing. Seem like that's her natural hair. A attractive woman. And again, this is why I tell fellas, man. I was talking to one of my homeboys earlier today. He's a little older than me. He don't have no children. He's real successful. And I was telling him, man, you got to be careful, man, with these women today. You have to be careful with these women today. Before I know as men it's hard. We get with these women, we hook up with these women, we want to have sex with these women. But once you become an astute man, doesn't matter what race you are, you have to vet these women. You have to date these women. You have to. Now, if you're just trying to get a quick fix one night, which is I think is very dangerous, but do your thing. But if you're trying to build with a woman, don't let no face fool you, because this woman is extremely attractive. And again, this is her with no makeup on her. She's attractive. So once she's did up, you can even imagine how attractive this woman is. And you'll go mess with these type of women. And I was telling my brother earlier, man, you got to be careful of STDs. And I'm not just talking sexually transmitted disease. I'm also talking spiritually transmitted disease. You'll go deal with one of these women thinking, oh, I'm just going to have sex. And although the woman is a receiver by nature and spiritually, in that sexual process, whether it's protected or unprotected, which we know no one uses condoms these days, but whether y'all having unprotected sex or protected sex, is a spiritual exchange going on. And although she's receiving more, you are receiving some of her demons too. So now you're always angry and frustrated and depressed, and you never was that way until you start messing with this woman. So you have to date the woman. You have to date her with a purpose and try to learn her and how she treat people, how she acts, how do she have etiquette? Do she have decorum? Do she have self-respect? Do she have self-discipline? You have to vet the woman for all of these things, because if you get with her, she could potentially be a mother to your children. So you need to be looking at motherly things. She can potentially, be your wife and be with you everywhere you go, especially in important events. So you need to know how she act toward other people, act around other people, how she feel about other people. And again, you have to be very careful with these women. You can't just go, oh, she fine, she pretty, it's too dangerous out here spiritually for that. And if you think I'm saying these things spiritually, and you might say, oh, you too deep, it's not that. It's you're not that deep. It's just I'm not too deep. You're not deep at all, and you will get yourself in a world of trouble dealing with these women. Just going off how they look, you'll be call yourself, go and get you something for the night, and you'll wake up in the morning and don't know you didn't caught several STDs, several spiritually transmitted disease that somebody gonna have to lay their hands on you, or you are gonna have to fast and pray to come up out of. But again, let's continue.
Passing through Hearst, she says she missed an exit. That's when she said officers pulled her over and said she'd been speeding in a school zone. Thompson said the officer then went back and forth from his patrol car a few times.
And that's when I finally said, let me start recording, only because I never thought that situation was going to play out like that at all. But I knew that he was just doing too much.
The encounter escalated when the officer returned with a citation, and Thompson refused to leave her vehicle.
That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
Civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, now representing Thompson, says the onus was on the
and I have no respect for the
officer to de-escalate.
Being the ones with the training, being the ones with a license and the professionals in the situation, it was on him to do what he could to issue the ticket as his job required and to move.
Across our changing world, what we do today looks nothing like the past, which is why American
ticket as his job required and to move.
God, you gotta love the didn't do nothing crew. You gotta love.
And these civil rights attorneys, they just looking for a payday. They even worse. And the reason why I have no respect for them, first of all, there's no such thing as civil rights. But I'm just saying, listen, man, these people, you'll never hear from him, Benjamin Crump, Al Sharp, and all of these Democratic big mouths and these black pastor big mouths, not all but most. You know what you'll never hear him telling you? To comply. You'll never hear him telling you, look, comply with law enforcement. Law enforcement is not your enemy. They're your friend. Comply with them. If they violate your rights, it's going to be on BodyCam, and we're going to fight tooth and nail legally to fight for you. But don't get beat up. Don't get snatched out of your car in front of your son. And please don't get killed. They don't say that because, again, they will go out of business. They want you Negroes to keep acting this way so they can keep getting paydays. And in this situation, as you see, the internal affairs shut it down. So I don't think there's going to be nothing coming out of it because it showed she was not complying, which means certain forms of excessive force is legal.
Like, as you watch them do stuff, they're like, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. Like, she literally threw the ticket out the car, and she was being, like I said, I know I've said asshole a lot of times in this episode, but she really was being an asshole. She really was not setting a good example for her son. And like I said, you can see this reflect in Black culture. Black women behave like this, and this is why you see them having such a problem with the police. And obviously, it's not just Black women; it is Black men too. Young Black men typically have a problem with the police because
they were raised by these Black women that you're talking about. Let's continue.
Raised by these women, okay, because these women do not teach them. And like she said, that the son had to call his dad, so apparently his dad is in his life, and you can see that because the child complies. The child is not an idiot. I want you guys to continue to listen to the coverage on this.
The Hearst Police Department said they received a formal complaint. It goes on to say, in part, a thorough investigation was conducted. The claims submitted were determined to be unfounded, and the internal affairs investigation was closed. We are aware of the community concern about this situation, and we are committed to remaining transparent.
She wasn't happy, and I think the officer caught wind that she had an attitude, and this officer decided to punish her for her attitude.
Merritt acknowledges officers can make arrests for littering. However,
here, the officers are given discretion to say, is this a situation that requires an arrest?
In his opinion, he says this was a violation of Thompson's Fourth Amendment rights, which protects individuals from unreasonable searches and seizures.
If he actually believed that dropping the ticket on the ground was an arrestable offense, it was the kind of littering that the law designed for him to make an arrest for, he could have instructed Ms. Thompson that you're under arrest. I'll wait till my supervising officer gets here, or another officer that you're more comfortable with because of the nature of our interview.
Why is it always Black attorneys? I just want to know. Why is it always the Black attorney?
I know you can't hear me through the screen, my baby, but I just said they all about money. They don't care about these people. He really wished she'd have got killed so he could have really got some money. Because he's probably not going to get anything from this. Because as you see, the internal affairs situation have been shut down, which is the one of the processes that you have to go through litigation wise. But you know, this probably going nowhere. She won't get anything, but she'll go famous, and maybe she can start a GoFundMe and raise a few dollars and say, "Hey, I'm hurt. Can somebody help me?" And the black boule gonna send her a few dollars.
That don't feel like their client did anything. She didn't do nothing, okay? She doesn't have to be held accountable. And actually, the officer should have his discretion towards her, even though she's treating him like crap. Like, yeah, he should still not arrest her. Even though she is treating him like crap, it seems like this officer is being respectable. I didn't see anything that this officer did wrong or said wrong. I'm not saying that he should have pulled out the car. I actually, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Absolutely.
And that is exactly what is happening here. Now they're talking about her Fourth Amendment right. Like, it is comical. Okay? It is very comical in the fact that these people think that they can go around treating people however they want to, however they see fit, and not have to be held accountable. I find it to be disgusting. I find it to be just super disgusting because what the actual hell? Okay? You don't run everything. The country does not revolve around Black people and Black issues. And that's what these people seem to think, that it revolves around them and Black issues. And I say these people because I'm nothing like these people. I don't behave like this. When I get pulled over by the cops, I comply, especially if I know I'm wrong, especially if I know I was speeding. Okay? And I know how the school zones work because, like, a lot of the times the school zones is like you can go 20 miles an hour and maybe you're going 35. And yeah, that means you are speeding. Okay? That is exactly what that means. Let's listen to the final part of this news coverage.
Thompson says she was traumatized and doesn't feel she did anything wrong.
I was very scared.
One thing about the Black woman, and listen, this is pretty much universal. I even see this in a lot of our conservative women. But again, this goes back to one of the things that I always say: Black women are children. They never. If you have a Black woman in your life, if you're a Black man and you run across this video, and you have a Black woman in your life that makes a mistake or does something that she apologizes, not trying to give you no vagina, but actually comes to you and say, you know what, I take accountability for what I did. I'm apologizing and it won't happen again. If you have a woman like that, I think you should marry her if y'all not already married. And if y'all already married, you should take her, you should turn this around, and even though she apologized for something she did, you should take her on a trip to wherever she want to go, because you got you a diamond. These women will not take accountability. The fact that we all just watch this and her comment was she didn't do nothing. I mean, it's just asinine. But let's continue.
That is the main reason I did not want to get out of the car. I feel bad for my son that he had to see me, that
No, you don't. You would have never acted that way, so stop lying. No, you don't, Tanisha.
way. I know he's really hurt behind that.
The Tarrant County District Attorney's Office is continuing to investigate the charges against Thompson and did not comment as the case is pending. In a statement, the Texas Law Enforcement Council said, quote, if your client had complied with the law instead of resisting arrest, there would have been no bruising and no injuries.
You don't need a speaker
Straight like that.
Download Volume Control Launcher and enhance the volume up to 200.
And no injuries.
I am with them. Whoever just said that statement, I am with them. Yeah, if your client had complied, there would be no injuries or no bruises. She would just have a ticket. She would just have to pay a ticket. I don't understand why people like to up their crimes. Like, if you do something, which obviously is a traffic offense, but why up it into, like, resisting arrest or, whatever the case may be, now littering, It's obviously he didn't have to arrest her for littering, but I would have arrested her. She was being rude. She was being disrespectful. And the attorney acknowledges that she has an attitude, but her attitude is like, because she has an attitude, doesn't mean that the police officer have to deal with it. Okay? They have to deal with multiple people, a multitude of people every day. And it seems like people don't understand how hard it is to be a police officer. And it's like, if you think that you could do a better...
Absolutely. And you know what? I tell people all the time, police officers and school teachers should have a base salary of $100,000 just for the simple fact of the people that they and the children that they have to deal with every single day.
Job at being a police officer, why don't you sign up? Why don't you go protect and serve? And it's because they don't want to. They discourage black people from actually doing this job. And when you do this job, they call you a coon.
Absolutely.
It is amazing, but they want police reform. It makes zero sense, okay? And these people just want you to have sympathy for them. They want to be victims. Oh, yeah, victim. I should record this. Yeah, you recorded because you knew that you were going to be a rude asshole. And that's kind of where I stand on that situation. So this is one of those F around and find out, play stupid games, win super stupid prizes. That is what we're saying. And not to mention stupid games and stupid prizes. And Jasmine Crockett, one of her bodyguards, is in the news right now because obviously, there's some fraudulent stuff going around this specific bodyguard. I don't think he was using his real name.
So this is the actual video. I wanted to do it. She was moving to another subject, so I just wanted to listen to what she had to say about this situation. So I'll play this for this is the whole thing in a wider version. So you guys
that's littering. Stop.
Get your phone.
Wait, please, sir, stop.
Damn, that boy climbing the car. Really?
All right, here's your copy of the citation. As far as the bills, you don't want to take it?
No.
Well, it's going to take it because it's your citation.
I don't want it.
That's your citation. That's littering. Step out of the car.
No, don't do that.
And as you get a clip closer, this woman seems like she got an age on her. She look like she's in her early 50s to be acting this way is a shame. Let's continue.
I'm not stepping out. Look.
Mom, chill out, man.
I'm not just call. Yes, call. I'm not touching.
Mom, please chill out. Mom, please chill out. Mom,
don't
please chill
touch
out.
me. I'm not stepping out of shit. Call your motherfucking supervisor.
And she talking about her son and her son in the background asking, please stop. And she not, come on, man, stop it. You don't, come on, man.
You're not the supervisor.
Yes,
call your supervisor. A supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing.
Get your hand off me.
Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me. I will step out on the supervisor. I'm not stepping out of nothing. Get your hand off me. Get your hand off me.
I'm not letting go.
You littered. You dropped the ticket, not me.
I put the ticket in the car.
No, you dropped the ticket, not me. You dropped the ticket, not me. Get your hands off me. You're touching me. Give me the ticket. You're touching me forcibly. You're holding me too tight, and you're being out of line. Y'all see this, right?
Sir, I'm sorry. Can she just get the ticket?
No, you stop. Why are you holding my arm like this?
Because I gave you the ticket.
Why? No, you did not.
Shout out to that young man, bro. Shout out to that young man. I'm so sorry that he had to watch his mama act this way. Shout out to him for the way he's conducting himself. Shout out to him, man.
You dropped the ticket, not me. I told you I did not want it. You dropped it. You dropped it. You're doing too much. I'm not afraid of you. Get your hand off of me. You're holding me forcibly for no reason.
Because you need to step
out of the car. Get your fucking hands off me.
Step out of the car.
No, what am I stepping out of the car for?
Is there anything I can do to get you to comply?
Look, Mom, he just said take the ticket and we can leave. He said take the ticket and we can leave.
No, I did not. You did that.
He said
you
take
threw
the ticket
at
and we
me.
I gave it to you so
You
you
threw
could
the
leave,
ticket at
and then
me.
you grabbed it and threw it out.
Give me the
it's
ticket.
On your phone video.
Give me the ticket.
No,
give me the ticket.
We're past that.
Okay.
You're under arrest. Step
For
out of the
what?
car, littering.
Okay.
Step out of the car.
No, I'm not.
You're under arrest.
No, when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I'm not getting out of the car. I'm with my child, and I'm not doing that. Call your father right now.
Step out of the car.
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'll step out when another officer gets here. I'm not stepping out. I don't trust you. You're holding me too strong, and I don't trust you. You don't have to hold me like I'm not going anywhere. Where am I going to go? I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm not stepping out of the car. Call your colonel, and I will get out of the car. You're holding me. I'm not resisting arrest. I'm not. What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for? I didn't litter. You did that. No, I did not. You did that. You did that. It's all on camera. So when your colonel gets here, then I will step out. I have my child with me. I'm not getting out of the... You have a supervisor, okay?
I am the supervisor.
So when your supervisor gets here, then I will step out of the car. Call someone else to come here. There is someone else.
Not right now.
There is someone else. Let me call 911.
Stop.
Get your phone.
Wait, please, sir, stop. Stop, wait, stop. Mom, chill out. Mom, please, wait, stop, sir, please, stop. Wait, stop, please, stop. Wait, stop, sir, stop, please. Wait, please, stop. Don't stop, please, I'm scared, stop. Wait, stop, please. Wait.
So sad, man. I feel so sorry for that young man, bro. And this is the type of stuff that, and this now I want to switch this over to black men. This is the type of situation you leaving your children to, man. And you wonder why they killing each other. They always fighting and they just angry. Because this is what they're being raised by individuals like this who is projecting anger on them from their frustration because they're frustrated in life from the bad decision that they made. This is a sad situation, man. Let me see something right quick. I want to see if I can actually pull up the body cam from the situation. I don't know if I can. Yeah, that's it, man. I thank y'all for coming out, checking me out. Episode 26, man. Your boy Vernon checking out. Peace.